What's up, y'all? It's your girl August, and today I'm bringing you one of my favorite brunch foods, shrimp and grits. Okay, I love to get this out, but I love making it at home even more because you could jazz it up however you want to, okay? So to start, you want to prep all your ingredients. On this side, I have the ingredients for the grits, and on this side, I have my ingredients for the shrimp. I like to use jumbo shrimp. Just peel, clean, take the tail off of that. I have some bacon here. You need bacon on the grits, okay? I don't care what no one says, you need some bacon. I got 3 slices of thick cut bacon that I just chopped up. And I think that grits, like shrimp and grits, needs some kind of sauce to go with it. I hate if I go out and the grits aren't creamy, has no sauce. Baby, no. I know I can make it better at home. So for my sauce, I have some white wine and some heavy cream, butter, jalapeno peppers, and some minced garlic. And then for seasonings, we just have some Cajun seasoning and paprika, which I'm gonna season the shrimp with. And over here for our grits, I have chicken broth. Now this is the key to making sure you have some really good grits that aren't bland, okay? You just need some chicken broth. For seasonings, I have some paprika, salt, pepper, and garlic powder. And to make it extra creamy, we're gonna add a little bit of heavy cream and some butter at the end. And of course, you need some cheddar cheese for your grits, okay? I like cheesy grits. I don't want non-cheesy grits. So now we're gonna start off by seasoning the shrimp just with the Cajun seasoning and the paprika I told you about earlier. And just give this a good mix. Okay, so this is what it should look like once it's done seasoning. And now I'm just gonna go over to the stove and start cooking. So to a small pot or a saucepan, you wanna add in your chicken broth, okay, the half and half, and your seasonings. Then you just want to stir it up just a little bit. Stir it up, and we're gonna bring this to a boil, okay? So I'm gonna cover it now and wait for that to boil. Then we're gonna add the grits inside. So in the meantime, I'm gonna wait for this pan to heat up. I put it on medium-high heat, and we're gonna cook the bacon in it. So now my pan is nice and hot. We're gonna go ahead and add the bacon, and we're gonna cook this until it's crispy. You don't need to add any oil to the pan because bacon renders a lot of fat, and we're actually gonna use a little bit of the fat in the recipe to cook the shrimp. So I'm kind of just spreading it out a little bit just so the pieces aren't stuck together and every piece gets nice and crispy. Okay. Okay, just let that sit for a little bit, and then I'm gonna stir it again, and it'll probably just take a few minutes to do this. Okay, you see it's starting to get crispy. We're gonna give it a stir, and you see all that fat on the bottom? Yeah, that's why you don't need to add any oil to it. Okay, the bacon is nice and crispy. I'm just gonna lower the heat to low so it doesn't continue to cook while I'm doing this. You wanna remove it from the pan, and I like to just strain it on some paper towel. And be careful when you're doing this, because one thing I don't like is to get popped by any grease. Okay, now with this oil, I'm just gonna remove some of it and keep 1 tablespoon of oil in the pan. Okay, now I'm going in with my 1 tablespoon of butter, and I'm just gonna swirl it around a little bit and let that melt. And then we're gonna go ahead and add the shrimp in so we could cook that. Okay, now just put all the shrimp in at once. And then spread it around just so it cooks evenly on the bottom, like so. And we're gonna cook it for just about 2 minutes per side. We don't wanna overcook our shrimp. We just want it to turn a nice pink. Okay. And I haven't forgotten about my grits in the back there. All right, so now everything is boiling for the broth for the grits. Now we're gonna gradually add the grits in. And I'm using 5-minute quick grits. I know some people don't really like to use it, but baby, I don't have time to be stirring grits all day, okay? It tastes just as good And with this method, it's going to be nice and creamy. It won't have that gritty taste. So you want to just gradually stir it in just like so. Okay, if you put it all in together, it'll get too clumpy too fast. So I'm just going ahead and adding some more. I'm going to continue doing that for a little bit. And just keep doing that. And stir it. And then you're going to want to bring this back to a boil. I'm going to let it sit for a second. And while we're doing that, I'm going to flip around the shrimp as fast as possible because you don't want to overcook your shrimp. And you don't want the grits to get hard either. Now, you can cook this separately if you want, but I like to cook the shrimp and the grits at the same time so everything's done at the same time. You'll have creamy grits. Everything will be nice and warm. You know what I mean? And look how beautiful the shrimp looks. It's going to be so good. Okay, now let's continue to stir this up. And as you see, it's starting to bubble. So I'm just going to cover the grits now and reduce the heat all the way to low. And we're going to let this cook for about 5 to 7 minutes. And I'm going to stir occasionally. All right, now the shrimp is done. I'm going to remove the shrimp from the pan and set that aside. I want to eat one of them just like this. We're going to add 1 tablespoon of butter to the pan and let this melt. And then we're going to add in our jalapeno peppers. And our minced garlic. And let this cook for about a minute until it gets a bit soft. And just constantly stir that around. Just let it sit for a little bit. And I have the heat on medium right now, okay? Now I'm going to open up the grits and give that a stir. You see it's starting to thicken up already. You want to occasionally stir it so it doesn't become clumpy. We want nice, creamy grits, no clumps. All right, cover that back. Now I'm going to turn the heat to high and add in the white wine. Give this a stir. This is going to help deglaze the pan. Give this a stir, and we're going to let this cook until the wine is reduced to about half. So reducing the wine, you simply just want it to cook down to about half the size it was. And this is just concentrating it, and it'll be the base for our sauce. Okay, the wine has reduced. As you can see, it's not as much liquid as before. So now I'm going to go ahead and add my heavy cream in and give this a nice stir. And we're going to do the same thing and let it reduce for a little bit. And this will really thicken it up because the heavy cream is going to make it nice and creamy. Okay? And this will take probably just a couple of minutes. And now my grits should be ready. Let's check on them. Yep, look at that. Nice and creamy. Yeah, it's exactly what you're looking for. Okay, keep it covered and just remove from the heat. Okay, you want to go ahead and add in your cheese and butter. Give this a nice stir, and this is going to add to the creaminess and make us some cheesy grits. Okay, now our sauce is ready. You see it deepened in color, it reduced, and it's just creamier. So now I like to just put the shrimp back in and toss that just a little bit and remove this from the heat. And our shrimp and grits are done. We just have to assemble it. Ooh, it's gonna be so good. So now I'm gonna plate my shrimp and grits. So of course I like to go ahead and put the grits first. Ooh, it's a little heavy. at that. Nice and creamy. Don't serve me any grits that's not creamy. I hate that. Okay. Now we're going to put some shrimp on top. And this is why I like to use the jumbo shrimp, because I feel like it just looks better and you get a nice bite. And make sure you get a little of that sauce on the top as well. All right, and for the final touch, I'm gonna add some bacon on top. Wow. And the full recipe is on my website, thereisfoodathome.com. The link is in the description. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And here's our shrimp and grits. Nice and creamy and flavorful. I can't wait to dig into this.